We are starting with the audio test, Google Pixel 9a versus Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition, using the selfie video recording 4K 30 FPS. We have dual camera system on Google Pixel 9a. We have 48 megapixel main and 13 megapixel ultra wide. While on Samsung Galaxy S24 FE, we have 50 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and 8 megapixel telephoto. I think that's it for the quick audio test. Let the battle begin. On the widest field of view, we have 1.5x on Pixel 9a and 1x on S24 FE. We got a wider field of view on the Samsung flagship. I like the portrait quality in Galaxy S24 FE, the smoothness and the details. There's too much artifacts on the face on Pixel 9a, but it is better exposed. Overall, S24 FE feels like the more finesse phone on the ultra-wide. On 2x, it's the other way around. You got better light contour on Pixel 9a. This is a low light test. You will see that S24 FE is a little bit soft compared to the competition. Outdoors, on the same shot, you got better exposed Pixel 9a with better details on the face, while you have a more beautified look on S24 FE. Again, this is a matter of personal choice. I like the details on Pixel 9a, while you have a brighter and more beautified look on S24 FE. On portrait zoom, both phones has 3x. I think Pixel 9a is using main sensor all throughout. S24 FE switches to the main sensor to 3 times optical zoom. You got better details on Pixel 9a, but you got a warmer and more inviting look on S24 FE. We the whole party and we poppin'. Because you're zooming into the telephoto of S24 FE, you got a creamier background blur than the competition. Also, the edge detection is pretty awesome on S24 FE. On the selfie portrait, hands down Pixel 9a all throughout the scenarios. I think Galaxy S24 FE is too warm and soft for my taste. Again, some people might prefer this, but I like the sharpness, contrast, and even the white balance of Pixel 9a. Now we're testing the video quality test, starting with the selfie video recording 4K 30 FPS. You can also shoot 60 FPS on Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. So why Pixel 9a versus S24 FE? I read some articles online that S24 FE will have a drop in price now. So the price of both phones might not be so different, and I think it's a good time for us to test these two phones to see which phone is better in terms of camera performance if you're buying or eyeing one of these phones online. So in terms of video recording difference, we have a brighter and lighter S24 FE as opposed to a more contrasty feel and look of Pixel 9a. Also, we have 1.4x and 4x on the new Pixel 9a. There's no digital crop on S24 FE. I can't do it on the screen on S24 FE. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're testing the rear camera, starting with the ultra-wide lens, 4K 30 FPS. Again, we can shoot 4K 60 FPS on Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. In terms of field of view, 0.5x on Pixel 9a and 0.6x on S24 FE. We have a wider field of view on the new Pixel 9a. Now in terms of sensor size, almost the same. 1/3 on Pixel 9a and 1/1.31 inch on Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. So they will have almost the same video quality, I think, in terms of the performance. Right now, I can't see the screen, so I would ask the question, if you look at this ball, is there any difference in terms of colors? I think that's it for the ultra-wide test. Now let's check the main sensor. Alright, this is the main sensor test. So 50 megapixel sensor on Samsung Galaxy S24 FE and 48 megapixel sensor on Google Pixel 9a. 2 megapixels shy on the Samsung competition. Both can shoot 4K 60 FPS, but we can shoot 8K 24 or rather 30 FPS on the Samsung flagship. In terms of video quality, a little bit brighter on Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. Also, we have a smaller sensor on Pixel 9a, 1/2 inch sensor. So this might affect the video quality as well on the main sensor. I think that's it for the main sensor test. Now let's check the zoom. And lastly, we're testing the zoom. I figured testing this on the same location because we have optical zoom on S24 FE and only cropping in on Pixel 9a. So we don't have a telephoto lens or sensor on the new Pixel 9a. In terms of video performance, I think that the 8 megapixel sensor, 3x optical zoom is better than the digital crop. But let me know in the comment section below if that's the case. I think that's it for the video quality. Now let's check the image quality. On the main sensor 1/2 inch sensor versus 1/1.57, you will notice that you have a shallower depth of field on Galaxy S24 FE on close-up. Lighter sky on Pixel 9a and bluer on S24 FE, you got a warmer white balance on Samsung flagship, while cooler tone on the Google midrange. Both phones are really detailed, it's just a difference on the colors. We got a warmer white balance on S24 FE. You will notice that the colors are more vivid compared to the Google competition. In terms of contrast, I think Pixel 9 has stronger contrast than the competition. It crushes the blacks and the shadows. It gives a more natural looking feel to the image. And in terms of field of view, we got ultra-wide main sensor and 3x optical zoom on S24 FE as opposed to the dual camera system of Pixel 9a, and we got 30x on the latest Fan Edition. And on slow motion, we got two focal lengths on Pixel 9a, 1x and 2x, but we have 4K 120 FPS on Galaxy S24 FE. We are testing the outdoor video, starting with the portrait video on Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. We don't have cinematic or portrait video on Pixel 9a, only on S24 FE. Now we're testing the selfie video recording in 4K 30 FPS. So this is what it looks like. Warmer on Pixel 9a compared to S24 FE. We can also zoom in on Pixel 9a. Let's check the video stabilization. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the video recording using the rear camera, starting with the ultra-wide lens in 4K 30 FPS. So looking at the color of the sky, warmer on Pixel 9a and cooler on S24 FE. You also have a darker contrast on the new Pixel 9a. This is a battle of mid-range versus flagship. S24 FE is a flagship phone, while Pixel 9a, although you have flagship specs, is considered mid-range phone. Look at the video quality here. You have more colors and warmer on Pixel 9a. You also have really good colors on Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. Looking at the sky, might be bluer on S24 FE. I'm not sure if I'm just seeing the screen of these two phones, but I will try to relay what I see on the screen. Let's check the video stabilization. Which phone do you think is better? Now let's check the main sensor. So we have a darker contrast again on Pixel 9a compared to Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. Looking at the colors, you have more colors here on S24 FE compared to Pixel 9a. You can see the difference of the greens and the yellows compared to the all yellow on Pixel 9a. Looking at the sky, I think almost the same. Now looking at the sky, which phone has a darker contrast? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, checking the video stabilization. Which phone is better in terms of the stabilization? We have 3x optical zoom on S24 FE, and we can only crop in on Pixel 9a. So this is digital crop versus optical zoom. Of course, you have better details and sharpness on Galaxy S24 FE, but looking at the stabilization, we are walking right now, so let me know which is better stabilization. Now we're running and going for the 4D zoom. We got 12x on S24 FE and only 5x on Pixel 9a. You also have better details on S24 FE. Looking at the zoom, switching back to the ultra wide, which phone do you think is better? Surprisingly, even though S24 FE is a flagship phone, you got a better night shot on Pixel 9a. You got a faster and on-point autofocus on the Pixel mid-range. I mean, on low light scenario with enough light, you'd probably get the same quality of night shots, but Pixel 9a is just a tad brighter than the Samsung competition. On pitch black condition, it's a different implementation. You got a brighter but softer S24 FE, and you got a really good detail but more contrasty Pixel 9a. I think I will still go with Pixel 9a. It just gives you a natural feel on low light images, but you also have a sharper image compared to the Samsung Fan Edition. It's almost the same looking night shots from the ultra-wide to the main sensor, but I'm surprised with the 3x digital on Pixel 9a, same quality as the 3x optical zoom of S24 FE. We are starting this low light video test using the selfie camera in UHD 30 FPS. We have 60 FPS on S24 FE. That's one of the advantage of the Samsung flagship. While on Pixel 9a, we only have 30 FPS video recording, but we can do 1.4x, which is closer, and even will go as far as 4x. So this is the quality of the low light video recording. 1x versus 4x on the selfie video. So we have 10 megapixel sensor on Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition and 13 megapixel on Galaxy, or rather Pixel 9a. In terms of the sensor size, almost the same. 1/3 on Pixel 9a and 1/1.31 on S24 FE. I think that's it for the video quality. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're shooting using the ultra-wide lens. Again, 4K 30 FPS. We can shoot 4K 60 FPS on Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. In terms of the sensor size, both 1/3 sensor, 1.31 on Galaxy S24 FE. Almost the same sensor size, 12 megapixel sensor versus 13 megapixel sensor. In terms of video difference, 0.5x on Pixel 9a, a little bit wider than S24 FE at 0.6. Video quality, I think S24 FE is a little bit brighter compared to Pixel 9a. I think that's it for the ultra-wide lens. Now let's check the main sensor. Now this is the main sensor on both phones, 48 megapixel sensor on Pixel 9a and 50 megapixel sensor on Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. In terms of sensor size, Pixel 9 is a smaller sensor right now at 1/2 inch. It is smaller than last year where we have S24 FE. Same sensor from last year, 1/1.56. We also have a difference on the lens, f1.8 versus 2.0 respectively. In terms of video quality, of course, the smaller sensor will be harder the sensor to produce low light video recording like the one on Pixel 9a. But I think the 48 megapixel sensor is doing really well on the Pixel phone. Let me know your thoughts on the main sensor battle between these two phones. Now let's check the telephoto and the crop. And lastly, we're testing the telephoto and the crop of both phones. So 8 megapixel sensor, telephoto 3x optical zoom on S24 Fan Edition. And we're only cropping in on the 50 megapixel, or rather 48 megapixel sensor on Google Pixel 9a. So this is the video quality. Which phone do you think is better in terms of the 3x optical and digital zoom? Now let's check the video resolution. And lastly, we have the video resolution test. This is Pixel 9a in 4K 60 FPS. And this is 8K 30 FPS video recording on Samsung Galaxy S24 FE, same as S25 series. So if both of these phones will be sold on the same amount of price, which phone would you pick? Pixel 9a or Samsung Galaxy S24 FE? Leave your comment down below, but as always, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.